Dr. Carson, this is Alexander Sexton. He works in the defense industry right here in Greenville. He says he is also undecided, but leaning in your favor. Welcome.
Dr. Carson, thank you for your time. Like many Americans, I've only recently felt the need to own a gun. And, you know, right now, the world is in a dangerous place. So what is your plan to preserve my rights to own a gun, but also to protect the American people?
Sure. Well, you know, the Second Amendment is there for a very good reason. It was so that the people could assist the government in case of an invasion. More importantly, it was so that the people could protect themselves in case the government itself ever became tyrannical and tried to rule the people. So we've had guns for hundreds of years, and we've been free for hundreds of years. I think there may be a correlation there. And, you know, I think, you know, after the San Bernardino attacks and the Paris attacks, you know, the current administration, their ideal of solving the problem was to take guns away from the people. Somehow that's going to solve your problem because there are terrorists trying to kill you. Take your guns away. It makes absolutely no sense. What they should be doing is offering free classes in gun safety to all the citizens who want to take it so they can protect themselves. It is the fundamental right that we have to be able to protect ourselves, but we also need to take safety into account. And as long as we do that in a reasonable way, I think your right, my right, all of our rights should be preserved.
I actually want to follow up on Alexander's question. He was saying he's gotten a gun for the first time in his life. Have you ever, do you own a gun? Have you ever felt the need to have a gun?
Yes. I don't know that I felt the need to have a gun, but I like having a gun. It's a nice thing to have. You know, I have multiple marksmanship awards from ROTC, and I'm very much in favor of preserving those rights.
I want you to meet Vicki Burns. She's a retired small business owner. She says she's leaning toward Governor Bush, but she has not yet made up her mind.
Okay.
Welcome.
Hi, Dr. Carson. Hi. My question for you is, if you are elected president, what would be your big idea? In the past, we've had great presidents that have united our country with programs such as the space program, the WPC, and we are in much need of a big idea.
Well, I have multiple big ideas, but here's one of the things that I really want to get across to the country. We have only 330 million people. Sounds like a lot of people, but China has 1.4 billion people. India has 1.1 billion people. We have to compete with them on the world stage, which means we can't afford to waste any of our people. So it doesn't make sense for us to have 20+% of people who enter high school dropping out of high school in the technological age, in the information age. It makes no sense for us to have 5% of the world's population and 25% of the inmates. And we have to reorient ourselves in a way that we keep those things from happening, because for every one of those young people we can keep from going down that path of self-destruction, that's one more person that we don't have to be afraid of or protect our family from, one more person that we don't have to pay for in the penal system or the welfare system, one more tax-paying, productive member of society who may discover the cure for cancer or a new energy source. We can't afford to throw away any of our people. That's a big idea.
This is Richard Leland. He's a family physician right here in Greenville, and he also says he's undecided. Richard, welcome.
Thank you. Dr. Carson, in the event that you did not win the presidency, but one of your fellow Republicans did, if they were to ask you to consider serving as the Surgeon General or head of the Department of Health and Human Services with your passion and your ability, would you be willing at some point to consider this?
Well, I got to tell you, I'm not looking for a job. You know, after 15.
Well, there is one job you're looking for.
After 15,000 operations and a very arduous career, I'm definitely not just looking for something to do. I feel that our country is on the precipice, and it's about to go over the edge. And if we continue with politics as usual, Democrats or Republicans, we are going to go over that edge. And I think we have to reach down and recognize that we can't just tinker around the edges. We're going to have some real ideas here. Ideas of how we get that economic engine, which is the most dynamic and powerful economic engine that the world has ever known, rolling again. I've got good ideas about that, bencarson.com. And I can explain them if anybody asks me that question. But also, when we look at what's happening to our nation in terms of our vision for who we are, I think we're starting to lose sight of who we are. We are so busily giving away our identity, our values, and our principles for the sake of political correctness that we don't know who we are. And the Bible says, without a vision, the people perish. So I have a vision that I think I share with a lot of we the people, and that's the direction I want to go in. It would be very difficult for me to serve in an administration that didn't have that same philosophy.
Thank you.
We're going to take a short break, Dr. Carson.